Make sure it works over here.
Oh, you're not just going live. You're live right now, my friend.
It says live. Mine's not live.
Oh, you're live. You've been live for 8 seconds
Am I
now.
live?
Yep.
Are we live? Somebody say hi to us if we're live.
Hi.
Hi, Brian.
Watch out. You got Psycho Squirrel and Christopher
You need
Sexton
to
in
put
here.
your headphones on.
So
be quiet.
Garrett called me in here last night. He had this
off of word.
plan that he told me about 10 minutes ago. Like, hey, I want to go live and do all this. And now, how do you do StreamYard? And we got to set all this up and make it
It's
happen.
going to be great.
It's going to be great, I guess. No, of course it's going to be great. Look at his hat.
There we go.
It's gonna
Okay,
be
we
great,
got some people in there.
Come on.
All right,
Confidence,
so now I know
Hartle.
it's working. I can't see anything. I hate technology. Yeah, I know. Brian's better at this stuff than me. And I'm hosting it from this end, so it's a little bit crazy. But my name's Garrett Hartle. Welcome to Reach Our Reptiles. And I was talking to my Searchable as Reptiles podcast co-host, Brian Kusko. Right? Is he on this side or that side?
Yeah, no, you pointed the right way the first time.
There you go.
Bouncing,
Here he
bouncing
is.
on a yoga ball.
Brian Kusko, bouncing on the yoga ball. So we just kind of figured we would invite you guys on live this Friday. I wanted to kind of go over a few things that is impacting us because of this whole virus thing. You know, the first thing is that Aiden doesn't get to hang out very much, very often now, but say hi to everyone.
Hi, guys.
I don't know if you guys can see this, but he's working. So he got hit by a car. He was walking. Let's reenact this real quick. And a car came and hit him right about here, just like this area. So he has all kinds of pins and stuff in there. So he's been gone for a long time, but we're glad to have him back. We're social distancing as much as we can in our tiny room. And we've got all kinds of new stuff going on. See how we social distance like this? Rob Roush, everybody.
Hey, what's up, Rob?
Jessica, last name shall remain. You might remember her from small appearances over when we take our reptiles up and go to shipping depot. But speaking of shipping, Brian, do you want to talk about some of the stuff we were venting about a little bit with the animals?
Ooh, well, this is one animal that I'm waiting to ship, and it's one of 6 animals that are sitting here, kind of just waiting to go to their homes. Because when I went to go inquire about shipping, like I always do when I go to the Ship Your Reptiles page to see, what the status is on shipping and just get updates. This is what I read. I'm just going to read it right from the Ship Your Reptiles page. Is that all right?
Yes, please do. So actually, we should show that real quick. Jessica, can you pull up while Brian reads? Go ahead, Brian, take it away. I just want to show you guys how urgent this looks.
And they did update it. Was this today? Is today the 24th? It is the 24th.
Today they updated it again.
This is updated today. It looks like it says basically the same thing as it said for the past couple weeks at least. It's just they made it look a little more intimidating with the bright red and yellow. So I'll just.
I mean, I think they're trying to get people to take the hint.
Take attention. Yeah, take attention because so the first thing at the top, there is no on-time and live arrival insurance available at this time. Please reconsider shipping sensitive, rare, or high-value animals until insurance is back up. If you do decide,
first of all, I have a real issue with this because sensitive, fine, rare, or high value. I mean, guys, I don't care if something is just a normal, like our lowest end animal here would be like a normal super dwarf cross or something, and it may or may not be like a high dollar item, but I'm sorry, man, that's my baby. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh yeah, we'll skip shipping the expensive ones and ship the ones we don't care if they die. And I'm sorry, like if you guys are a customer of mine, and Brian, I'm sure you feel this way too. Customer of yours orders a $200 snake. That's $200 they've invested in your life, your brand, your family that you want them to do right by, right? I mean, it shouldn't make a difference, is my point. Cheap snake is okay to die. That's not all right. Like, oh, let's risk the cheap snake, save the expensive ones. I'm not down with that.
Yes, that's the main point. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff there if you want to go to the page and read what all the different updates are. I mean, the next one is if you do decide to ship, you will be doing so at your own risk. And there's always a risk. And another thing, here's another one that's kind of important. They say do not call FedEx because they're probably being overwhelmed with all kinds of calls already as it is. Live shipping is now Monday through Wednesday only, which those are the only days I ever shipped before this notice is up here, right? Yeah, I never ship any past Wednesday because if something it does get held up, then you don't want to get stuck over the weekend, of course. Package your shipments in anticipation of delay. Now, that's like kind of a conundrum right there in itself. Like if I'm anticipating delay, I'm not going to package a shipment
I'm not
of a
packing a
live
shipment.
animal.
Exactly.
That's like
And the
the
reason
weather's
for the
bad.
Monday through Wednesday thing, guys, is so that if it gets delayed, let's say you ship Wednesday for a Thursday arrival, and then it can't arrive till Friday. The problem is if it's a 2-day delay and it's supposed to arrive on Friday, it gets delayed. That thing's not coming on Saturday. It's sitting through the weekend. So, I mean, we do this during good times. If you're a responsible reptile shipper, you should be at least thinking about those kinds of things and working around them. So while FedEx is saying, hey, you can pay for overnight, but that doesn't mean it's getting there overnight necessarily, you can't be shipping,
Yeah, I've got a couple people that have really wanted to get their animals, and they've been pretty understanding. If somebody decides they don't want to wait, then we're not going to send it. It's just like money back.
Yeah.
And
cute Karompa.
Luckily, you've got a pretty good thing going, because this could be a downturn for a lot of people who are having a reptile business right now. They're going to possibly lose sales if they don't ship. People want their animals, and sometimes that's like a big thing. There's a lot of people out there. It takes a lot of patience. That's the thing in this thing, right? Everything in this takes a little bit of patience. Whether you're waiting for animal to get there, wait for animal to get up to size. For me, it seems like a bonus. Like, yeah, go ahead, feed that, keep feeding it, raise it up, send it over when it's ready to breed.
Yeah, no, right. I mean, so from that perspective, I have a lot more mouths to feed. I mean, we have literally, I don't know, between 50 and 100 snakes that are sold that are ready to ship. And our customers have been great because some of these guys paid for these animals a month ago. You know how excited you are. And some of these animals are like, I mean, the sold animals that are sitting here in-house range between, $300 to $10,000. And those people are still hanging out and waiting because of the well-being of the snake. We're going through hatchlings when they're here. Like, so for my business personally, I like hatchlings to have as much experience eating food as possible to get them acclimated before they go out. So these animals are eating twice a week. That extra 50 animals twice a week. So that's an extra 100 feeder rodents a week, every week, that we're putting on, not to mention the time involved in keeping everything clean and watered and pristine and all that kind of stuff. I mean, we've literally built new baby racks. A lot of you guys have seen the Freedom Breeder one. I took one of my old racks out of the shed. Look at this. I've got the base here and the top here. I cut one of my racks in half and stuffed it here to get a little bit more space. It's because we're breeding stuff, and selling stuff, but not shipping it. We built more of these racks and stuffed them in here. So we are just like loaded with babies. We have babies hatching all the time. By the way, Brian, this is, you might get a glimpse of my top secret Freedom Breeder setup that I wasn't telling anyone about. Pure Slayers today. How's that? Pretty cute. Look at this little dude. Just hatching today.
That's cool, man.
Anyway, we got stuff hatching all the time, like having places to set these things. So for me, the biggest impact has just been, it's super weird to have basically every baby that I hatched this season chilling here. You know what I'm saying? Just hanging out. So that's a huge impact. Bringing extra people to help keep everything clean, keep it under control. But the good thing is we have always been set up primarily as like a online retailer, which I think you are too. There's a lot of reptile people that basically rely on kind of that impulse buy reptile show type of sale. A lot of those people are seriously struggling right now, because they can't, they rely on, you have a couple $100 in your pocket. They have an animal worth a couple $100. They drop it in your hand. You say, "Ooh, I like that." And you take it home. Right. So, which I don't like that method of buying, but it's not always a bad thing. Like if I impulse bought something, I'm going to take care of it. I have lots of reptile experience. Like Brian, I could ship you a snake by surprise and know that you're going to be ready for it at any given time.
Yeah, I always got my quarantine rack set up right here, just in case.
Yeah, exactly. But those kind of vendors that haven't done the whole, like online thing, we're on YouTube, we're doing all this kind of stuff. Obviously, extremely tech savvy here. You know what I mean? To be able to
hey,
live
you set
stream
it up real quick. You
ends.
made it happen real fast.
I've never done this particular one before, guys, but anyways, yeah, it's pretty crazy. So
Oh man, I've
I'm a
got all
little
these nice
edgy.
things I want to say about you right now, and I just not too
And
much
I
of that.
just talk right over you. It's
Yeah,
okay.
it's
I'll say all the nice things about myself. That's fine.
like...
This is starting to sound like our podcast, which, by the way, if you guys like the whole ridiculous back and forth between me and Brian
There
Kusko, and
hasn't been
that
much
one is much more
back
like
yet,
adult
though.
oriented and unedited. But check out, it's called Searchable as Reptiles podcast.
I
So
didn't think
we
you'd
had an
ever
interesting one.
talk about it on your own channel. It's amazing. Now I don't think you're actually
Brian always
ashamed of me anymore.
gives me trouble for not promoting it, but it is really cool. But honestly, that's a channel where I go to be honest with, kind of like, I consider the listeners my friends. What's that? I missed whatever you just said.
Oh yeah, Ryan's saying don't fuel your ego, and I think that he's right. I probably shouldn't do that.
Oh, my ego is nuclear. It runs
And
continually like the
Jake
sun.
says you're getting a little too close to your employees over there, so take a couple steps
No,
back.
no. That's just the camera. This is 6 feet. Watch me try to slap Jessica. Good. She's way beyond arm's reach over there.
But I do, and this is why I mess with you though, man. This is why I work with you. This is why I've always done stuff, because a lot of people out there still shipping, man. And
Yeah.
that's their choice and they're making that decision. But man, I don't know how you can do that. I mean, I don't know how you can ship an animal and feel okay about it when you're getting warnings that there's potential 48-hour delays. I just don't
Well,
understand. I know
the
I
shipper
understand,
side
but
is
it's like
one
it
thing.
makes you, I don't know.
It's risky, and
It's
I
very
would
risky.
rather spend the money and the time and everything that's required to keep the animals safe, knowing that they're going to be good here. I'm taking great care of them till they go to the customers. But I'll say, for you guys that are watching, I don't know if you guys are sellers, buyers, or whatever, but if you're buying a reptile right now, a really good idea would be to ask the seller if they're willing to hold it for you until that stuff happens. So
It's an interesting thing, because I mean there are animals getting through and without issues, but I mean, is it worth the risk? Obviously, you don't think so. I definitely don't think so.
No, I mean, one case of it going, or even 100 cases of it going well, don't balance out for the one that goes wrong, And so here's what I'm waiting for. I don't know about you, Brian, but what I'm waiting for to give the green light to all my customers that we're ready to ship is basically, I want to see FedEx open up their on-time guarantees again.
Yeah.
Because if
Same
they
here.
feel confident that they can guarantee that it's going to get there on time, like, I generally don't ship my packages with any kind of insurance or anything. And
I do.
as the breeder, do you? Yeah. I mean, sometimes I do. It's a case by case, but generally I don't.
And you
However,
just kind of
my
insure yourself,
customers,
like you're going to back it up yourself, basically.
I will back it up myself 100%. So the customers never have to worry. If it's something that I'm worried about, I will back it up. But generally I do it without. But that's not why I'm holding off. It's not because I can't cover my own butt. It's because if they can't guarantee me that they're going to be able to deliver according to the service that I pay for, which is me dropping them off late in the afternoon, you picking them up first thing in the morning, I don't want to take the risk, not with my animals, And fortunately, most of my customers are like, heck yeah, man, keep them till they're safe. And I love you guys for that. I really applaud your patience. I know that that's not easy. But I know, as a seller too, Brian, I don't know if you've experienced this, but I think that a lot of reptile people are getting antsy, kind of fidgety about
Oh
stuff.
yeah. Well, I think everybody's getting a little antsy and fidgety about stuff. I think goes
I
beyond
am.
just reptile people.
No, I definitely am. So I don't know. I'm gonna pull some cool animals while we're talking here. Here's this crazy thing. I recreated that ball python I saw one time. It just took me
Oh
like
yeah,
10
yeah.
years. You've seen this one, right, Brian?
Yeah, yeah. You sent me a picture. We were talking about it on the podcast, and then
Dude's cool. We gotta bring him out in this light. He looks great. Jump over here. Anyway, I still geek out about this guy. This is a black leucistic, basically. Motley Golden Child Ultra Ivory. I think he's cool.
It's super cool, man. So you've been staying pretty busy though. You still got your
We've been hatching tons of stuff. And then actually, so here's the other big impact. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm just, this last 24 hours has been crazy busy for me. It seems like I've got 3 different virtual reptile shows that are about to pop off, I guess, that people want me to either join into or help promote. like reptile shows or just things happening virtually. I was on a 4.5-hour podcast last night. And then right before that, I did a little live stream on my own channel. And then I did a thing with R&B reptiles, and I'm trying to get their file uploaded to the thing. And then, of course, take care of my own animals and kids at the same time. It feels like it feels like a lot. Like I'm at the point, I like to try and say yes to everything I can and do everything I can. Like anytime somebody wants me to do something, I'm honored and I want to do it. Like when you said, hey, you want to go live in a half hour? I was like, yeah, of course I want to go live in a half hour with you.
I kind of told you last night.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't recall talking to you last night.
Yeah, well, you texted me at like 2:00 in the morning my time, saying that you wanted to, so I just had you slated for doing it.
Yeah, okay.
Does anyone know what this is? This is actually the world debut of this.
It looks like a mochino or a caramel of some kind.
No, it's a mochino. You're right. A mochino what? Double recessive.
It's an Annery mochino?
Yes.
No way.
I have literally not just been like thinking or planning, but doing breedings for 4 years to make this animal. 4 years ago was my first attempt. I've done multiple breedings every year. I've always missed it. So finally, the curse is broken. This is the world's first snow chino. Wow, it's super dark right now. The mochino's like, I mean, look how
it almost looks like
a ghost boa.
The mochino's coming through really strong.
Yeah, and I think they'll brighten out a lot because a lot of mochino stuff hatches super dark and then starts to just glow later on. So really cool to watch this sucker progress. But so we've been hatching a lot of stuff. But the other thing is, it's kind of funny because right before all this stuff went down, for me, the breeding season starts right around, March Tinley time. And that's when the kind of the, proverbial poo hit the fan with all of this stuff, right? So we drove out to Tinley, and then they said, just kidding, it's not there. And I know you were there too, Brian. But that's when it really started. That's when my stuff starts hatching. That's also the time when I stopped shipping everything. So I think I've literally shipped one snake this entire season. And I believe we're 30 clutches in now, which is crazy. I don't know if people have the, the perspective of just how many animals we do or don't do or whatever. But the funny thing is, with these animals, most of them sell on waiting lists, and so I'm typically sold out by October Tinley. So I usually have that, like November, December, January, a little into February, literally just to work on the business and think of fun new stuff to do, right? So this year, a big part of it has been like we bought, these are all shirts, and there's, like our hoodies and everything. All of this stuff was bought to sell at that Tinley show that never, the show that never was. And so we've got all this kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, well, I guess we sell stuff online now, because I'd always just taken swag, and taken them to shows for people to have something fun and cool to buy or whatever. But if you go on Reach Out Reptiles now, you'll see like a ton of swag online. And that's actually part of why Jessica's here. I finally have an office manager to control my life. That's the back of her head right there. She loves it. You
want to see the back of another head? See how, if you got a big head, watch out for these hats.
Check it out. Headphones, and the buns. Jessica's.
I'm on the last dot on this thing.
Because you got that ugly hat. Yeah, if you guys have an exceptionally large, I've never had someone have a bigger head than me, and I've got 2 dots on my Reach Out Reptiles hat. So we want you guys to buy these hats and then tell us how many dots you are.
Oh, it came unclipped because it's only 1 dot. Yeah,
oh no.
One dot, that's all I got.
I'm going to send you some tape. But check this one out. So now that we have the infrastructure basically that I've needed for all along, because people want to buy a sticker or a shirt or whatever, and I've just never really offered a good infrastructure for it. But I don't know. Can you see this? Check this out. I love this model, dude. Look at that guy. He is rocking that. Can you read the bottom there? I don't know, Aiden, how close can you get? It's a computer.
But it's only a food response.
So this picture, if you look at the snake itself, is actually, this is kind of like our style. And I asked Adeline Robinson. You guys all know her. She's amazing wildlife illustrator. But she designed that for me. If you look, it's got my the signature white ring that's always in all the pictures of the snakes and stuff. Is pretty much a branding thing now. But That's our social distancing super dwarf. Stay 6 feet back. I bite. Also good if you just generally don't like people. And according to the description on our website, it doubles in an emergency as toilet paper, the shirt. So that's always good.
Can you be my marketing manager?
But anyway, that's going to be like a limited edition one. So we're playing with some different stuff.
Was that a no?
That's a print on demand. We literally have, I showed Kimberly that. And I said, hey, I'm going to get t-shirts. And nothing I do, whenever I do something new, it's never good enough for people. The first thing Kimberly says is, I want some like booty shorts with that.
Too small.
Exactly. So hat's too small. Well, you know, I mean, that was Noah's hat and you stole it from him. I'm just not sure if you realized that when I sent you that hat, but it was intended for your son. So good job, Dad. But I'm just kidding.
So you sent me nothing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, get used to it. I mean, I sent you that whole pied retic the one time. I felt like that was super generous.
Oh, that's another.
That was like an entire chapter of your life.
That was a whole chapter of my life. It was a very entertaining chapter of my life for a lot of other people at my expense.
Hey, Jessica, can you pull up our version of the booty shorts? So I was basically going to buy a bunch of shirts.
Wait, I thought you said this was going to be a family live stream. What's happening right now, Hartle?
It is booty, pirates booty, you know.
Oh, like
so
fake popcorn crunchy things?
Yes, exactly. I don't know what that is because we're vegan now, but check these out. So we got like the, like the lounge wear that the girls all like to wear. So stay 6 feet back. You got Reach Out Reptiles running down the new brand colors and everything running down the other leg.
I got a little newsflash for you. If you can't see the booty, they're not really booty shorts. those things go all the way down to the ankle. I guess this is a family channel.
I wanted the ability to sell like more than one of them. I didn't know how many people wanted a illustration of my hand like that. It looked a little awkward, but these I thought turned out pretty good.
Louis Size just threw down a little fund for you to cut the legs off of those things and actually turn them into booty shorts.
That's it. There you go, cutoff style, and it'll just say "re" or "r" to go with your booty. You're welcome. I am a dad. I do the dad jokes. Anyway, so the cool thing is most of our stuff we buy in advance and then sell. This stuff is print on demand, and we're just trying to make it fun for people to get. So we're like, those have higher costs, but it allows you guys to pick like any product, any color. You get a million things. So it's been pretty fun.
And I've got that going on. I've got that going on right over now on triplebReptiles.com as well. That's been happening.
You guys have had it for a while. The print on demand stuff.
Yeah,
because you were showing me, it was like a year ago, the hoodies, the shirts.
It's convenient, and the stuff is super comfy too, man. That's important to me that the stuff is super comfortable.
Well, and that's the cool thing is that you have those options, right? So like for me, if I'm buying a shirt, I have to pick a shirt that everyone wants because I have to buy 500 of them. So with the print on demand, like the cost to the customer is like a little bit higher, but we've managed to keep them pretty cheap, especially on like those new social distancing ones and stuff like that. So those are live. I haven't really like launched them yet or anything, but you can start to get that stuff. But basically what I was saying was that was the other impact because we're not shipping the animals. It's almost like I'm doing all my off-season stuff, like designing booty shorts, long versions, and putting those on, website infrastructure, all those kinds of things. You guys have seen some of the newer YouTube things that we've done with Thomas for video production. That's taken it up a notch. A lot more of that's coming.
Yeah, it's all off-season. You did a real good job on those, man.
Yeah, I think so too. We're excited. He's actually coming out next week. We're going to film a whole bunch more of them. So what we're going to do is try to get those going like once a week. So, and get that sponsored at that point. So hopefully you guys on YouTube understand, like I've never done like anything to make money off of YouTube. I always joke with you, Brian, that I'm a reptile guy that happens to like clumsily have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, and I'm a YouTube guy that clumsily happens to have a couple of snake breedings going on.
I don't know, for clumsily breeding a few snakes, you've got some pretty crazy stuff that's hatched out over the years. It's been pretty fun to see that. I loved visiting you, and I still go back to the story all the time. Those of you guys who listen to our podcast have heard all kinds of stories. but hanging out next to like Hillary's clothes in her closet. You know what I mean? While we were looking at your gravid
that's right, dude.
sunset
That's
stuff.
right. You came out to the old house. That's right.
Oh, I've been everywhere. Yeah, remember we were going to selectively breed the bluebellies in the backyard?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Anyway, so, but I know you've been doing a lot of live stuff lately, but I'm glad you came on here because, you know, when you and I rant about stuff, the cool thing I like hanging about hanging out with you, Brian, is that both of us are always kind of talking about how we can do things better. You know what I'm saying? And so we rant privately about things that I think would be beneficial for everyone to hear. So that's what I wanted to jump on with all of you guys, our YouTube family this week, and get you on, Brian, just so you guys get a little taste of that Searchable as Reptiles podcast flavor. Just while we bring up this issue of shipping right now, you know.
I've just been letting you talk too because you're good at it and it's your channel. So people don't want to hear me talk over anyway. I'm just here to smile and listen.
Well, actually, if you guys are commenting, Jessica can read them for you. Is there anything that you want to see from either me or Brian? I formally invite you to force Brian Kusko to open up any of his snakes and any of his collection right now. No holds barred, top secret projects. He's going to reveal any of them. I already showed you a couple of mine. You got to see, I mean, on this podcast alone, you got to see a Karompa, you know, which is like rarest of the rare, the world's only, and we're still trying to name that, jump on our Instagram, but that, whatever that salt and pepper sucker is, and the world's first snow chino. So, Brian, what do you guys want to see of Brian's? We got some chat going on. Can you see all this stuff? You've got, I don't know if these jump these things back. It looks like we have two chats. No, is that all YouTube chat? I don't know how any of this stuff works.
It all should be coming from
same.
YouTube. Yeah.
It's pulling the same thing. Morph Mixology, what's up, buddy? Thank you, sir. You missed the Selayers. Oh, all right. Jake Klotz wants to see the Selayers.
I thought Jake was here right from the beginning. I thought he must have popped out for a minute.
Yeah, he was not actually paying attention. So here they are. This is the whole clutch. It was kind of a weenie little clutch because mom was so skinny. But wait a minute. This isn't the one Jake wants to see. Jake wants to see this one. I already know which one's yours, Jake. Can you see that pattern up at the top there? Oh, you can't quite see it. There it is. This one here. Like, there's only one you can see there, but trust me, this thing's got a chain of donuts going all the way down. This is another new locality for us. So we have officially hatched 5. Is that right? Did I get them all already? Let's see. We did the Karompas. We hatched them. We actually have Kayuadis that are coming any day. So that'll be the 5th. And then we've got the Kalatoas. We got the Selayers. Which one am I missing here? The Jamps. We did the pure Jampeas. So 5 localities. I don't know anyone else that has 5 localities. We hatched 5. We have 7 dwarf and super dwarf, not counting some of the random mainland stuff. But let me see. Where's a pure Jamp? What do you guys want to see at Brian's? Brian, did you find someone from the commenting yet?
Yep. He's still pretty deep in shed right now, but there's that indigo that went missing for a day and a half.
Oh, you found him! Holy
yeah, Hillary found him. Dude, I lost him.
Good.
He got.
I'm sure she was very happy.
Whoever doesn't know the story behind that, I went to the last educational show that I did before I left for Australia, and this guy somehow managed to get out of his little tub in the vehicle on the drive back, and he was missing in the car for about a day and a half. Hillary found him about a couple hours after I left for Australia. Deep in shed, but looking good, nice and healthy.
Yeah, this one's in shed too, but this is not pure Jampea. This is high percentage, 75% Jampea anery. Madness.
Yesterday was the first day that the AC kicked on in my snake room this year.
Oh yeah, that's like cause for celebration, man. We are still getting into the 30s. So shipping's a little insane for us right now to even consider if it's getting delayed. But looking forward to it. Have you had snakes outside yet? That's what I want to do.
Oh yeah. I've had a couple of the big girls, took them outside, did some little filming sessions, and Yeah, I love being able to take the snakes outside, man. It's fantastic. And I'll bring the indigos out often and hold them in the sun for 10 minutes or so they can get a little extra vitamin D action and happening. So they definitely like to have a bit of that.
The jungle gyms and playgrounds are great for them too. This is a normal, like a purple albino anery, so a snow. So that's a normal snow. You guys saw how dark that Mochino snow was earlier. Pretty wild. Aiden, should we tell them that we made a golden child snow Mochino? Nah, we'll keep that one secret for a while.
That's the female right there, female indigo. Little smaller than the male per indigo growing.
Pretty cool. I do have, I'll just drop it as a tidbit over here. I actually have something in the works with a buddy of mine who's originally, this will be a good hint. He's originally from South Africa. He lives here stateside now, but he's working with some pretty cool South African species. And I have a little thing going on to pick up an extra species, another species. So cool. just a little side project for me. Those are awesome. My OKT course. Do you guys want to see?
Got my first clutch, bro. First clutch dropped. Just
nice.
First clutch in the incubator of the season. Pretty stoked about it. Oh no, you saw it. That was it.
JKR's pure super door. Now, what was that clutch though? That's not the Enchi cinnamon stuff again.
No, that's gonna be the next one to drop.
Okay, this will be a fun little reveal. Kind of make fun of him a little bit, but I'm sure he doesn't watch my channel anyways. You guys know Justin Kabilka. Has anyone ever heard of him? Give me a little thumbs up if you guys have heard of Justin Kabilka. So traditionally doesn't work with ball pythons, or works with ball pythons. A little bit of a visionary. And I was talking to him at the last show I think that ever happened, at least for me, was down in Dallas. And he's getting into some of our stuff over here for the future. So he told me, he's like, the Super Dwarf stuff, just pick mine out for me. And he hasn't seen it yet. This is his pure Super Dwarf. I want you guys to notice, look at these sharp silver, if she sits still. Look at those sharp silver things coming up the sides there. Look at how many saddles this thing has. Is that crazy or what?
I'm pretty sure there isn't anybody you couldn't get into Super Dwarfs at this point.
Well, especially I won't have to do it anymore now because you're talking about marketing guru. I mean, Justin Kabilka has that licked. Wait, show this. Show that little spiral. Look at those little silver side spears. It's not showing up on camera. Hold on. We got to do this better. People make fun of me because I'm into like the brown snakes. I'm showing all these crazy morphs. I think this thing is like stunningly good looking. I think cool. Anyway, so this is actually Justin Kabilka's Super Dwarf. So that's the pure Super Dwarf stuff's a long wait, so it's good to finally get that stuff to him. I don't know. I think we're good. What else do we need to see? Did anyone jump in there? Psycho Squirrel. Oh,
I've got a stunning.
You don't want to see our Psycho Squirrel.
I've got a stunningly good-looking Super Dwarf right here. There you go. If I get him into a shot.
You're frozen on my screen. Oh,
I'm
you're
frozen
looking over there though.
Oh no.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah, you look frozen on this side. What's up? Can you guys see Brian, or is he frozen? Oh, you just have a lag.
I was running around a little bit. I was running around.
Yeah, my bad. I'm like watching it in different platforms all the way across. That's your Super Dwarf, right? Like
yeah.
Don't know anything about the history of it.
It was a rescue that came from. From oh my gosh, it's been a long time now since I've picked this up from that kid in the park, but I can't remember who it was that he said produced it now. Oh, you did? No, I didn't think you had ever known. Yeah, he said who produced. He said who he got it from at least, and that it was supposed to be a Kalatoa. But I gotcha. You guys want to see? I think this one actually sold, so you can't see this, but you just saw that little Super Dwarf that I showed you. Here's another one that is
little fresher hatch. Kabilka's is actually pretty old. Look at this tiny little thing. Super dark, crazy little one. This is from 2 bloodlines. They're probably some of my favorite bloodlines when I was a kid. So this is like 90s style Super Dwarf.
Dude, that thing is
It's Garrett DeMeyer
tiny.
bloodline, bred to a Travis Q. Well, this one's fresh. So this one's only like a week, 2 weeks old. Whereas the one that we were showing you before, small as it was, that one that was outside, when did she hatch? She hatched, that was one of the first clutches of the year, early February. So that one's a few months old already. But yeah, look at that teeny little thing. Isn't that thing cute? I love it. Super dark. They're just so cute. I mean, look at it. This one weighed about like 40 grams, I think. No, I don't even think it was that. Maybe it was, but it absorbed its yolk and pooped it all out. Looks like it's in the 30s now. Rob wants to weigh it. Why don't you weigh it for us, Rob? You got to get a stable surface. Let's see how tiny a new Super Dwarf is.
I mean, if you really want a small python,
that's 40. He's 40 exactly.
It doesn't get much smaller.
Oh, you got the real pygmy pythons, huh?
That's a tiny python. I can throw this guy on a scale too. Let's see what happens.
Is yours children eye or what is it?
Yeah.
It's children's, right? Yeah, not the spotted
sir.
or whatever. That's pretty cool. So the one that I'm getting, it's South African, and here's another hint. It's not technically a
Whoa,
python.
dude. Did you say that thing that you were holding was 40 grams?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? That's
What's yours?
crazy.
Yeah.
50.
It's 40 now. 50.
This one's 50. Wow, that's crazy.
Well, if I fed mine, it'd be 50. So I told you they were small. Hey, so here's the crazy thing. The last female that laid that goat line, if you guys didn't watch the video, you'll have to jump back. That female weighed, and you could watch the video and tell me that I'm wrong because I won't remember this number correctly. It was like 1,930 grams after she laid. It was 1,900 something. It was under 2,000 grams. Female. Dropped 11 eggs. Crazy. First
Yeah,
was 12.
crazy.
Yeah. This is why I don't tell real stories. I can never get the details exactly right. So I put them all in a video so you have them there live and you can always correct me later. My stories are more for entertainment purposes. But I think that's all the energy I have for entertainment right now. What about you, Brian?
I tapped out last night.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I think I'm going to wrap it up for the weekend, but we got a lot of fun stuff. If you guys want to jump over, check out the swag over on yours is on, what is your website? Triple TV?
Triplebreptiles.com.
It's spelled out. Triple B.
Tripleb reptiles.com. All one word.
And go look at that and fall in love with his swag. And then go to www.reachoutreptiles.com and tell us how much better ours is.
Make sure you tell me on my channel.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, seriously though, guys, jump over if you want the behind the scenes family stuff and everything. Brian Kusko on YouTube, and then Triple B TV is like, I don't think people give that channel enough credit because he has got so many industry giants. Some of them have never done interviews and stuff before on his channel, kind of spilling the beans and stuff like that. So definitely subscribe to that one. This one, I mean, we're just kind of here if you like super dwarves or whatever, but like this super dwarf right here. You can come see these kind of super dwarves forever. So just for perspective. Sorry, he's back like 2 days, man. It's giving him crap. Yeah, he's used to it already. Small but tough. That's what we like. Hey, there he is. What's up? No save. How you doing?
He's good.
Anyways, I love you guys. Have a great weekend. To all of you customers that have been buying snakes and not had me be able to ship them to you, thank you guys so much for trusting those guys to me. I'm taking as good a care of them as I can. Trust me, spare no expense. You know, they're all in top-notch condition while they wait for you guys to be shipped out. And we're just kind of waiting for FedEx to get back up and running. So it's a little bit out of our control. I'm very hopeful that this coming month in May, it'll open back up. That should be really cool. in the meantime, you can watch us here. We have increased content. Check us both out on Instagram and stuff. I know both us and Brian are putting a lot of stuff on. There's actually going to be Jessica. What was the name of what was the actual? It was like Reptile Stream. There, some of the cool stuff that's come about because of all this. On May 2nd, we're doing a 3-hour virtual reptile show. This is not like a small time thing that was put through us. Reptilestream.com. So May 2nd, they're going to do a 3-hour reptile show. You pay admission, $5 for, you can bring your whole family in or whatever. And it's a live show and sale. So, just some of the creativity that people are coming up with. This one was from my buddy Tom Kelly that does the Steel City Reptile Expo. And, he put $20,000 into developing the platform to be able to make this happen. It's pretty legit. I'm pretty excited about it. So we'll see you guys around until we can see you around. But I guess until then, we'll catch you next time. Have a great weekend. Thanks for stopping by.
Love you, buddy.
Love you too, dude. I don't know. Make it stop. How does it stop? Leave.